I'm going to sneeze. Ooh. Okay. Does it sound kind of like pretentious, the anti-hero thing? Probably. I'm going to leave it in. What is up, people? So today I'm doing something a little different. So most of you all know that I am on Instagram and I'm on YouTube and I play drums in this studio. But I wanted to do something a little bit differently. So recently, one of my buddies who does a podcast, Seamus, he does the Drum Gab podcast. If you haven't listened to it, it's incredible. Please go check out Drum Gab podcast. But he recently had me do this thing called A Minute with Drum Gab, which is where he asked me a bunch of questions. I filmed it, and he posted it on his page. And as I was doing that, I realized a lot of you all probably don't know anything about me, other than I sit in this room and I make videos for Instagram or YouTube. So I just wanted to today, I wanted to encourage everyone and let you know a little bit more about me, but also encourage you that it's never too late to do anything. And I know I'm young, so it's not like it's not the same as, you know, you're 70 and you should quit your job and become a full-time mountain climber. Like, that's not really what it's about. But so for me, a little bit about me, I used to tour full-time. I went to college for music, and all through college I was playing a ton, touring on the weekends and doing school full-time. And when I graduated from college, I hit the road. I toured with bands like Remedy Drive, I'm a soul, inside a body, Gloriana, toured with Janet Kramer, artists like Chris August. I live in Nashville and tour with all these people. I decided within the last couple of years that I wanted to move more toward session stuff. You know, I still tour, but a lot of people say it's suicide to stop touring, right? Because once word gets out that you don't want to be on the road anymore, you're dead to people. Which is probably true. I don't get near as many texts or calls for work as I used to for touring. So my priorities are different now. So, you know, I've turned more stuff down, not because I don't like people, not because the terrible pay, not because whatever. It doesn't make as much sense for me to go on the road because I have stuff I do here. My transcribing, my lessons, my ebooks, my video courses, all that stuff keeps me super busy. But so the first thing I wanted to say was just, sometimes you got to take a leap, and sometimes you got to say, you know, the only thing I had known was touring. And when you start turning down stuff, you know, I was getting offers to go on the road for certain things and just saying no, not really knowing what I was going to do. I was just saying no because I knew I wanted to shift from touring full-time to diversifying what I did. So that was horrifying, because to say no to immediate money is really hard, because you're hoping that it pays off in the long run, but it might not. So you might just have said no to, you know, doing one show for no reason, because you actually didn't make any money at all for the next couple of weeks because you said no because you wanted to do other stuff. But that other, you know, so that's a whole thing, and it was really scary, but it's worked out for me. You know, I can say last year I did 3 road dates, which is down from, I used to be on the road 150, 200 days a year. I did 3 last year, and I actually want to do more. 3 is pretty extreme, but it was that transition phase, so I wanted to be a little extreme with it. So 3 is a little, and it's not because I didn't get offers. I just literally, I was transitioning and said, I'm just not going to do it unless it's the perfect situation as far as money or friends, projects that I wanted to, you know, play live with or whatever. And I still work a lot in town. I do a lot of session and a lot of in-town shows. So that has picked up too. Once you're, you know, I was always gone, so I'd have to turn down in-town shows because if they're on Friday night, I was always out touring, playing somewhere on Friday nights. But now that I'm home, I play a lot of in-town Friday night shows because I'm here. So really my first thing was, don't be scared to change things up. just know that you have to work harder. You know, I get up at 6 every morning, and I go to bed. I don't go to bed at 6 p.m., but I work from 6 to 6. And my wife gets home at 5 or 6, and then, you know, we hang out, we go do stuff or whatever, and then I go to sleep, and I wake up at 6, and I work for like 12 hours, and that's a lot more than I used to work. It used to be when I was home off the road from touring, I would just kick it, play 2K, whatever, you know, and I always had transcribing going on. I had some Skype students here and there, but I didn't really have too much going on, so it was mostly, I'm home, this is my downtime, I'm going to hang out, and touring is stressful. It's really hard to tour. It takes a lot from your body, your mind, your energy. It's really taxing. So when I was home, it was like, man, I'm just going to unplug, just chill. So now I work 12-hour days, and that's a lot more. It feels like a lot more work, but it's all stuff I love. It's transcribing. It's teaching. It's studio stuff. It's tweaking a mix to get it better. It's editing video and learning a new thing in Photoshop. It's really interesting, and it's different. It's learning about how to sell ebooks online, how to sell video courses online. So that's the first thing. And the other thing I'll say is, and it's along the same lines, when you make a change, chances are whatever you're changing to, you're not as good at because you haven't been doing it as long, right? When I transition from touring to being home in the studio, you know, I'm in this studio now, but all throughout this year, my sounds have gotten better because I do it more. And I found a clip of me the first day I recorded in this space. So the first time I set up mics and a video camera in this space sounded and looked like this. And now, if you listen to my videos now, hopefully you'll notice that they sound better, they look better, and that is all because all year I've been posting videos, recording stuff, you know, and I get a lot of students, a lot of people that email me, a lot of people on Instagram that direct message me. I get so many people that ask, you know, how do I do this thing? You know, how do I start on YouTube? How do I upload to this thing? How can I make my Instagram? And I hate harping on this so much, and I feel like it's a pretty popular thing to say right now, but you just have to do it. If you want to grow your Instagram channel, I don't know what I'm doing. I started this year with 100 subscribers, and now, you know, I started 2017 with 100 subscribers on YouTube, and now, right now, on the 16th of January of 2018, I'm getting confused by math. Beginning of 2017, January 1, 2017, I had like 100 subscribers on YouTube. January 16th, when I'm filming this, 2018, I have, I don't know, like 500 subscribers, maybe 600. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's a lot more. Is it a million? No. Does it need to grow? I would like it to. But the point is, I uploaded more, and I got more followers, and then I learned how to edit video better, and I got more followers, and I learned how to mix audio better, and I got more followers. Like, you just have to start doing it. If you're waiting for it to be perfect before you do it, you'll just never do it. I didn't wait until the studio had the best lighting and the best mics and the best preamps and the best video equipment for me to upload my first video from this studio. I moved in, I got everything set up, and I threw it out there. And sure, it sounds fine, it could look better, but it is what it is. It's the internet. It cost me nothing to put it out there, and now that it's out there, I'm sure most of you haven't even seen that because it happened a year ago on Instagram, and you would have to scroll for like days to find it, right? So I guess the point I'm saying is don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to just jump in and figure it out along the way. And I get that not all situations are the same. You know, if you have a family of 5 kids and a wife or a husband and all that stuff, and it's not as easy to switch. But I guess what I'm saying is I'm trying to encourage you guys that I made a huge life change, and it was awesome, and it was hard, but it has worked out, and I'm going to continue to try and figure it out. So hopefully someone like you is out there and you have a dream. And it doesn't have to be like this crazy life-changing thing. It could just be like, man, I really want to start an Instagram account. Great, do it. It doesn't have to be life-altering. I want to quit my job and, again, be a professional mountain climber. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. But yeah, so now I'm going to cut to, that's kind of my story. That's the last year of my life. And now I think I'm going to cut to the interview I did for the Drum Gab podcast that I sent over to my buddy Seamus. And this is just random facts about me because a lot of you have never heard this side of me. It's always drums. It's always transcribing. It's always how to solo better, whatever. And a lot of you, unless you've had a lesson with me in person or on Skype, you've never heard me just talk about whatever. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope this has encouraged you. Let me know. Send me an email, timbuellmusic@gmail.com, or leave it in the comments or whatever. I want to hear from you about whether this was encouraging or if you still have doubts or what you doubt or what you have also in the last year done that has been awesome and a new page for you. Like, I just want to hear about what's going on with you all because I put these videos out for you. I don't do it for myself. I personally don't love filming these videos. It's a lot of work, like whatever. But it's worth it because when one of you sends me an email and says, wow, you said XYZ and it was awesome. Thanks so much. It's amazing. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your doubts. Let me know your fears. Let me know whatever. And here's the rest of this interview I did for the Drum Gab podcast with Seamus. What is up, Drum Gab family? My name is Tim Buell. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I've been playing drums for 16 or 17 years, and then professionally for about a decade. Self-taught on the drums. I was self-taught on the drums for the first 4 years I was playing. Then I took some lessons from a local drum teacher, and then I went and studied in college at Belmont University in Nashville. What was my worst job? Okay, I used to work I grew up, my first job ever was a swim instructor, and I taught little kids how to swim. And then I became a lifeguard, and I think my first summer in Nashville, I was playing a bunch, but not enough to be full-time. So I worked as a lifeguard at a country club, and that was the absolute worst. This particular country club, the people that were members of the club were just terrible human beings. They just, treated people really poorly. So that was the worst job I ever had. What is my favorite sport? Many of you that follow me know that my favorite sport is the NBA, basketball, and it's insane what those people can do as human beings, and I really like LeBron James. I really like James Harden. I just like following the big players and seeing what's going on. I'm recording this in October of 2017, and I think the Thunder or the Rockets have a good chance of clinching the West, even though everyone will hand it to Golden State. That is my prediction. You can hold me to it. It's now recorded. What am I binging on Netflix? So I rotate and go between watching The Office, and I'm kind of always constantly in some part of the season of The Office, or if I'm feeling more serious, Mad Men. Mad Men is just the greatest. I think both of those shows in very different ways are really good at developing characters. And then I also, every time I get tired of those two shows, I throw on the first season of True Detective because, again, incredible character development. Just so interesting. I love the idea of exploring the anti-hero. Whiskey. I love whiskey, particularly bourbon. I'm not much of a rye person, but whiskey. My go-tos are Maker's Mark or Maker's 46 if you have it. The best alcoholic drink secret I can give you is there's this stuff called Old Granddad. They make an 80 proof, 100 proof, and a 114 proof. Don't buy the 80 proof. It is garbage. But the 100 proof and the 114, really, really good. And it's super cheap. You'll look at it and say, that's probably terrible. It's not. Old Granddad, 100 proof or 114. I am not endorsed, but I would love to be endorsed. So, if you're out there, Old Granddad, hit me up. The last book I read was Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. It was awesome. He's the guy that the whole like 10,000 hours thing. That's him. But I think Blink is even better. If you're into psychology, you should read it. And then a little bonus answer. My favorite book ever is by Aldous Huxley, and it is called Brave New World. And if you haven't read it, it's like the whole like post-apocalyptic utopian or dystopian society thing. It's that like way before 1984 or Hunger Games or way before any of that. Aldous Huxley was, I think, way ahead of his time, and Brave New World is amazing. So go check it out.